Hello world, my name is Paul, also it's Juzcus. Anyways, this is my new channel. I had another channel before, but I used to make Rubik's Cube videos, and I don't really do that a whole lot anymore as far as, well, I mean, I don't do any Rubik's Cubes that much anymore, so I needed a different channel where I could actually make different things that other people would watch. Not for Rubik's Cubes, if that makes sense. I'm sure it makes sense, but yeah. So anyways, I like to program and game, so I'm sure I'm going to have both of those things on here. Right now, I'm doing a, this is for a class, I'm in college, so I'm doing a programming assignment. It's a game. It's pretty straightforward. It's called Dots and Boxes, if you've ever heard of that. It's this game you play on paper. That's something to do if you're bored in class or something. The objective of the game anyways, well, how the game is played is you draw lines between dots and you want to make squares, and that gives you points. So it's played by 2 players generally. So this is as far as I am on the program. I need to have it done by Friday, but I'd like to have it done by, or at least playable by the end of tomorrow. So I'm gonna make a couple videos here, and it's April 20th at 6:46 p.m. and I'm just gonna do some coding. I know some of the things here probably are not the best practices, probably are far from it, but really I'm not trying to make anything too complicated here or even crazy efficient. I'm just trying to get it done. So I'm taking out a piece of paper here because I have, as you can see, crazy weird variable set for these. So like each of these lines are going to be different objects, kind of. Well, they're basically they're arrays, right? Stupid math joke. Okay, whatever. Anyways, there's 5 positions in each of these arrays. The first one is going to be which team it belongs to. Red is going to be player 1, blue is going to be player 2. So if it's 0, then the line won't be drawn. If it's 1, it'll be red because it's player 1's. If it's 2, it's going to be blue because it's player 2's. If it's 3, it's going to be hover player 1, meaning it's not actually set, the line hasn't been laid down, it's just because their mouse is over that. And that's a feature I'm going to implement later. So like if you mouse over it, you know where you can... Wow, apparently my cat found that toy. There's this annoying toy I bought him a long time ago, and I wondered where it was, but he found it behind the TV. Great. Anyways, so this probably was just going to be a video with me coding and babbling on. So yeah, if you're into coding or babbling, feel free to talk or comment or whatever. I've also been thinking of maybe doing like a live stream for coding, because I know that there's another person who actually does that for a game. I think it's called Starbound. I'm sure people have heard of that game. Anyways, it's there's one of the developers for that game tends to do live streams where he shows off his programming, I guess, which I mean I think is kind of cool. But yeah, so I'm not doing anything spectacularly interesting or interesting at all, really. It's just going to be a game. But basically these lines are going to be these other horizontal lines, these ones here. So, or well, at least the next 2. Because I don't really do much with Java graphics, so I'm still kind of learning some of this. But basically, one of the things is that you have this paint component method that you need to override, and it seems that's the one that automatically gets called to refresh the events in there when you call the repaint method. So FGH, I knew that. So anyways, that's where I'm having these things handled. So if it's, say it's if it's equal to 1, then I'm going to draw these lines because yeah, I need to. There's the next ones. And if I want to make that last line blue, I'll just go into H down here and be all like, hey, you're actually player 2. And now it disappeared. Oh. There's gonna be or checks for all of those for number 2 and 3 and 4 too, so it's not gonna be very beautiful. But why is that red still? If H0 equals 2, which it does, oh, then we set it to color that blue. Yeah, that's why it's doing that. I'm just gonna put it back to 1 though. We would change this to blue naturally, and you know, I'll just do it because I'm not gonna actually, because this is gonna be the red block. So the first one is to check if player 1 made those moves. This game also is gonna be like player versus player or player versus computer. Obviously there's no networking needed for this because it's just for a class, and yeah, it's whatever. Actually, I do have some interesting ideas as far as Easter eggs go. To be completely honest, I'm way more interested in doing Easter eggs than writing this game. What the heck? Which one am I at now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I have to do this line. So I'm far more interested in actually doing the Easter eggs in the actual game, sadly enough. But it's just kind of how it works, I guess. So right now, and for the rest of the day probably, I will be making sure that I get this functionality out for the game. And as I babble, I might just actually cut bits and pieces of this out. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just upload it and see, because I don't think I have an upload limit on how big of a file I can upload. So I could just go and be like, upload a terabyte file of me just doing this whole game, but really I should just probably speed the whole thing up and call it good. So for now, right now, the first things I'm going to do is get the rest of these lines drawn by creating those objects, and then just copy and paste this whole section that's for drawing the lines and make one for blue. So red and blue also have the opportunities, so if I highlight one as blue, or player 2 or whatever. And then once I have all these done, I'm going to start creating some of the other classes. The other classes would be like, I'm not going to have any of the turn stuff in this class. I don't think. This game board's just kind of like drawing stuff. So this is the actual board. This is the visual stuff that you see, aside from the GUI, which I actually ended up just doing with the Window Builder Pro, because I've worked with JFrames in the past, but as far as using layout managers and making everything fit perfectly, it's more of a hassle, and I'd rather work on the functionality of this dang game, especially since I've put it off until a week before it's due. Actually 2 weeks, but who's counting, right? Just kidding, I'm counting because I'm tired of this program. But I, J, K, L, M. I know that's so weird that I'm doing it like this, but honestly. Okay, so this is the x coordinate, this is the y coordinate, right? So it starts, let's say 110, and then 110. The y coordinate should stay the same, the x coordinate should change in these horizontals. So let's see if that's far enough down. I think I did it by 100 intervals. Oh yeah, I didn't draw it yet. J. So basically at this point I'm trying to determine where those things need to be drawn. You could write it so there are computations involved at runtime that determine where the line's drawn, but to be honest, I am too lazy. And that works perfectly, actually, to be honest. That's awesome. So now I know that these are 100 off and those are going to be 100 off too, so the rest of these boxes should be pretty damn fast. At least I hope so, because yeah. So this is going to be 210, and then 310, and then 410. Now I'm just gonna copy this and do it again. The reason I'm making these all ifs and not like else if is that when I draw it, I don't want to just draw one line, you know. So like, because all of these theoretically eventually will be either one or two, and obviously it's alternating because it's not like they're all going to be one color because the players take turns. And the reason for the first number is the Boolean, like, so a player can't, you know, overwrite another player's move. So what? Yeah, I think I chose the wrong numbers there. So instead of doing, oh yeah, that's right, because the y needs to stay the same. I'm just being dumb. I'm just being dumb, man. I'm just being dumb. These just all need to be 110s instead of 210s and 310s. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and set up them. So at my friend's house yesterday, and they had these League of Legends like shoutcasts going on, and I just thought it was really interesting, like that just our forms of entertainment are changing in that way. Like we would rather watch, in some cases would rather watch other people play video games than play them ourselves. I don't know, I just think it's interesting. Like I don't know, I just thought it was kind of funny. I've played a little bit of League of Legends in the past, but I've never really I don't know, I don't really like it that much. Mainly because of the people on there. N O P Q R. Alright. Yeah, basically, you know, you get into a game, and the people in the game, they get mad at you if you, well, basically anything you do. I'll just leave it at that. Whether you do well or if you do bad. It's moderately funny, I guess. Ooh, that'd be bad. Oh, and also, obviously I'm not expecting a lot of people to be watching this or even paying attention to this. Actually, to be honest, these are actually the types of videos that I watch more often than not, is the ones where people just kind of babble and do their own thing. Just kind of enticing for some reason. Anyways, but, you know, if another Java developer ends up watching this, for whatever reason, I would really appreciate any sort of advice for any kind of programming in this game programming in this way. Sorry, I'm actually most of my programming I'm actually more of a scripter. I write Perl scripts, Perl and shell scripts mostly. So I don't write a whole lot of Java these days. Actually, I'm interested in learning more C++. I know a little bit, but I feel like it'd be kind of fun to maybe someday make an indie game. Not this way, obviously, but I thought it'd be interesting to try. Whoa, LMN. Why did I just do that? Probably because my mind is elsewhere. I'm not really. Yeah, this game is not exactly something I am enjoying, but I think it'd be kind of fun. One of the things like I said before, is the Easter eggs. And maybe I'll review a couple of those and explanations. Some of them are going to be like internet memes. And OP. Like, actually, I don't think it's going to be an internet meme. It'll be more like Q. Did I get to Q? I just don't want to, Q and R. I just don't want to get like an exception. If you've ever played Duck Hunt when you were a kid, I don't know how old whoever's watching this is, but Duck Hunt was this game that sometimes they packaged with Super Mario Bros., the first one. And whenever you'd miss, I'm not saying I would ever miss, but if you missed when you were shooting at the ducks, there was this dumb, annoying dog that would pop up and laugh at you. As irritating as that is. So what happened, what I'm going to do is, when the computer scores against you, I want to have that little dog pop up in one of these squares and laugh at you. I know it's mean, but it's kind of funny, right? Actually, I'm going to just search that on Google Images real quick, just so we can have some context here. Laughing dog meme? What the heck? No. It's not exactly what I was looking for. Duck Hunt. There we go. This stupid thing. That dog right there. That's the one I'm talking about. Anyways, actually, as you can see, I have programmed another row and another column. I'm gonna finish these up and then I'll hop back into the video, but it's already been like 15 minutes of me babbling, so I'm gonna cut this video off and just kind of see how the quality, the B, the audio, the video, and the file size, just so I can kind of gauge how much I should be uploading to the YouTubes. Anyway, that's about it for this one. I'm just gonna probably program and then start recording again, so I'll see you then.